how Michael Jordan became superhuman. Stick around to find out.
This is a continuous improvement movement reserved for the few with the grit to prove it. Everybody claim, but the click exclusive. Many pursue, but it's too elusive.
Michael Jordan has been regarded as one of the most amazing basketball players of all time. Let me tell you some of his biggest accomplishments. Everybody knows about the 6 NBA championships, and in all of them, he won MVP. He also won 5 MVPs in regular seasons and 10 scoring titles. Calvin, what is his secret sauce?
So when we think of Michael Jordan, we think of the high-flying, super competitive, resilient, stop at nothing to win, superhuman athlete. And all those things are true. But I think there's something we usually overlook, and that's the coaching that he's received throughout his career. So I would say that his secret sauce is leaders as coaches. And let me explain why. Number one, guidance and mentorship. Michael Jordan's coaches throughout his career, from high school to college to NBA professional, have helped him to see his path to greatness, as only a great coach can do. Number two, empowering autonomy. His coaches have put him in an environment where he can learn not just from their guidance and from their mentoring, but also from his own mistakes. And he'll talk to that in great length. So yes, learning from mistakes. Number three, building trust and respect. Essentially, when there's always a play to be run, and when that play goes south, it's usually, let's go to Michael, right? Let's let him run the show. The play's broken. He's the guy. He's the go-to guy, right? Takes a lot of trust for that. And number four, emphasizing teamwork throughout his career. And we could talk about the experience with the Pistons. He learned that in order to win championships and be a championship caliber team, he's going to have to learn to develop his team, right, as assets on the court, so that they can win and be a much higher caliber team. So there you go. How did Michael Jordan become a superhuman? The secret to success is leaders as coaches.
I agree with that, Calvin. Leaders as coaches, because you know what? He didn't start as a superstar basketball player. He started playing on his freshman year in high school, and he got cut from the varsity team.
He did. He did. Yeah, I think he got cut. He was going as a sophomore or junior or something like that, and he didn't make the cut. Right. And he played, he ended up playing junior varsity. And that's where he started to shine a little bit and started to see that, yeah, maybe I do have a future in the sport of basketball. Because he was a big baseball player as a kid too.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, he grew up in a very competitive family.
True.
So of course that helped.
Yeah, and I think it started there with the leaders as coaches.
With his dad.
With his dad. So his dad was sort of his first coach mentor, and his brother was his first biggest competitor. So right there in the household, he already had a strong foundation to kind of find his way forward and ultimately become an incredible player.
So after that, Michael went on to North Carolina University to play with a super excellent coach, Dean Smith.
Yeah.
So what role did Dean play in developing Michael?
Okay, so this is an important pivot milestone too for Michael. Pivot, no pun intended. You know, just roll with it.
Let's roll with it.
So Michael goes to Dean and says, hey, I want to be the best player. I want to be the best player on the team. I want to be the best player ever, right? And Dean is like, well, you got to work really hard to be the best. And Michael's like, hey, I work just as hard as everybody else. And Dean is like, well, that's why you're only as good as everybody else. So
he told him, like, I thought you said you wanted to be the best.
I thought you want to be the best, right? So I think that triggered something in Michael's head, that the game of greatness is about work ethic. So if you can outwork everyone else, you'll ultimately be a better player than everyone else too. So that triggered him. That was kind of a pivotal point where he went down the path of developing the work ethic that he's become world famous for.
And it was actually after that exchange that Dean said he changed. Like, he showed up like he had never shown up before.
Yeah. First to show up, last to leave. That's a common thread we see amongst all the folks we spotlight. They're willing to do what it takes to be the best.
So let's move on to empowering autonomy. How did Michael Jordan's coaches empower him?
So Michael showed himself to want to thrive for excellence. And he again, we can't take anything away from his own potential that he brought to the court and what he brought to the team and he brought to his own career. So as coaches, when you see that a person's on a path, right, they have a North Star in their head and they're on their way, it enables the coach to help remove roadblocks and just give the person space to thrive and grow and learn from their own mistakes, right? I think, we talk about lean tools a lot. And I think, part of the lean community, we emphasize, this tool can help, this tool can help, this tool can help. But there's something else. And it's that thirst for excellence, that drive for excellence. And if you have that, it's the motivational aspect. And when you have that, then almost any tool will do. You're going to find a tool. When there's a will, there's a way. So what the coaches saw is, hey, there's the will. They gave him the space to figure out the way, basically.
And I think that moves us right along to building trust and respect.
Absolutely.
Because he was not only being developed as a great athlete, but also as a head of a team.
Right.
Yeah,
and sometimes this is the most difficult thing, like people learning to be coaches early in the coaching career, and I look at any leader or any manager as a coach, whether you wear that title or not, you're a coach, right? Your job is to develop your team. One of the hardest things to do is give people autonomy, give people the freedom to try things and learn from the things that they need to try. And in Michael Jordan's case, his coaches gave him, when things went south on the court, everybody get a ball to Michael, right? And that builds trust, not just showing trust in them, but it also helped him build trust in himself because he didn't always trust himself.
That's right.
To do the right thing.
So let's talk about emphasizing teamwork. This is amazing to me because when you think of the Bulls, you immediately think Michael Jordan.
For sure.
And when you hear the commentary, even during the games, like Larry Bird once said, Michael Jordan, that's not Michael Jordan. That's God disguised as Michael Jordan.
In a jersey.
In a jersey. Some other people will say, I think a player was asked once, what is it like to play with Michael Jordan? And they say, Michael Jordan, do you mean Black Jesus?
Yeah, right.
And, commentaries like that, like one of the, like the sports commentary reporters once said, Superman has stepped into the court.
Right, exactly.
So he was such a big part of the Bulls' success, but it is a team sport. It is a team effort.
Right.
So how do you see these team dynamics playing within the Bulls and the coach? How did the coaches help build a team or solidify a team to win championships?
So Michael Jordan was obviously a superstar. And people knew that. Even Doug Collins, who recruited Michael Jordan, third pick in the draft that year to the Bulls, he knew Jordan was a superstar. Right. And Jordan knew he was a superstar. So it's easy for the superstar to get into a mindset of, hey, we're in trouble. Give me the ball and let me take it to the hole. Right. Nobody can stop me. Right. Every superstar kind of thinks that way. But I think when they had a shot at a championship and they went up against the Pistons and the Pistons beat the crap out of them, literally.
Year after year for 3 years.
And they realized just triple team Jordan and the rest of the team is, won't be very productive. When Jordan realized that me being the superstar and me taking whoever to the hole isn't enough, Phil kind of helped him see that in order for us to become a championship caliber team, we got to learn to play as a team, right? No individual can win championships. So that's when I think Jordan really started to internalize that he's got to make a bigger investment in his teammates and empower them and develop them. And what that does is distribute the threat, both on offense and defense, distribute the threat in such a way that it lightened up the load on Jordan himself and allowed him more space to operate in the way he wanted to operate, because it's no fun getting triple team. Nobody's having fun with that, except the other team, I suppose. But so in doing so, you minimize the risk of being over dependent on one person. And even as leaders, you're talking from a leaders as coaches, a lean, continuous improvement standpoint, when you're over dependent on your superstars and you don't invest in other people and coaching and mentorship and leaders as coaches, is all about developing people and developing talent. You kind of, it's kind of like putting all your eggs in one basket, and you're at risk. The team is at risk, and it's just not a very effective way to grow.
Mm-hmm. That's right. So there you have it. Michael Jordan became superhuman in great part because of leaders as coaches. Let's get better every day, and we'll see you again tomorrow. For daily news on operational excellence and how it relates to current events, check us out on the Ticket to Freedom podcast.
Simply subscribe to our YouTube channel and stay up to date on the latest developments in continuous improvement.